Listen, they continue to poke the bear. In fact, during the week of the G20, what did they do? Ronald Lamola goes on CNN's documentary, Misinfo Nation, the White Genocide, and he calls Donald Trump a white supremacist. Broadcast globally. That's the Sunday as the summit's about to get underway for the business meetings and all this stuff. And then throughout the week, every time Ramaphosa had a chance to be diplomatic, he mocked or made fun of Donald Trump. He was asked outside a building in a crowd of people. It wasn't even a question, it was a statement by this guy. I guess he thinks he's a reporter. You will not be bullied. That's not a question. To which he says, no, 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 we will not be bullied. But a diplomatic response, we will not allow ourselves to be bullied. Diplomatic response would have been, what do you mean? We're a sovereign nation. The United States is a sovereign nation. We have a disagreement about how we're approaching the summit. We'll work this out. That would have been the way to do it. Or when he's sitting there with the guy who's a media executive and the guy says, yeah, I know that you know bad things are happening. Very sarcastic comment. And then Ramaphosa, instead of being diplomatic or shutting the guy down, just, bad things are happening. 74 people per day are murdered in South Africa. The infrastructure is collapsing. 82 people a day are leaving the country. Never mind the U.S. refugee program. That's a whole separate issue. And they're just mocking the president of the United States. And that was recorded by the Government Information Service and posted on their TikTok account, intentionally meant to insult the president of the United States. Of course, we're going to get to the stage. Eventually, Trump is going to have time to deal with them. And that's what's going on now. You've hit the nail on the head. The first message was all the work that South Africans did for a year to push for debt relief and for the just energy transition and Ubuntu and all of this, turning the G20 from an economic body into a begging bowl of the UN General Assembly, which is what they've done for the past year, which are the real reasons why the US didn't participate in the Leaders Summit, because it became clear throughout the course of the year that South Africa was hell-bent on perverting the purpose of the G20. So the US finally said, enough, we're not going to do it. Now, I know Trump said hyperbole, they're exterminating people and white genocide and all this stuff, but don't look at what Trump says, look at what he does. And throughout the year, they participated in these events until it just became too much and they just quit going. They had enough of it. So, you poke the bear enough and you're going to get it. So he scrubbed the website, everything's gone. If you go to the G20 official website, there's nothing there except that, sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties, Miami 2026. And then they have a US site dedicated to it. And there's Trump standing there looking like the original gangster saying the best is yet to come. And then Ramaphosa punches back. He has a meeting with the country, talks to the country, and instead of just being diplomatic, he attacks America. Then he says, "Oh, this relationship's important to us. What really matters." No ambassador for a year, no trade representative. We have a trade representative. Jamison Greer is a trade representative. He talks to every country. Nobody in Washington for that. They keep gaslighting the public in South Africa and the world, saying they have a delegation. They don't have a delegation. They keep saying they try to reset the relationship. They never try to reset the relationship. They're not talking to Washington. They're attacking Washington publicly all the time. What did they expect to happen?
Now, Chris, Trump is probably not finished with South Africa. What do you think he's likely to do next?
Oh gosh, this is. I'm going to feel like Senior von Ensberg or Nostradamus here if I start making these predictions. There's a lot of things can be done.